Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we'll be talking about this, the Lowe Alpine SIRAC 65. The SIRAC 65 is built for self-sufficient quests over various terrain. Its fuss-free, durable construction means it's the perfect pack for multi-day excursions, 10 tours and DOV. So this video is going to be a little bit different because to start with we're going to talk about the pack itself, look at the different specs, the features, the materials and the fit, and then we're going to go on to talk about my view on the pack. I was lucky enough to use this pack on our recent trip to Scotland to do the Kintail Way. So I actually had this pack on my back for 4 days straight, carrying everything I needed, including all the camera gear we took for the trip. And I thought it might be nice to give you an honest review of what I thought about it. So we'll start with what is most obvious, and that's the materials it's made out of. The SIRAC is designed to be extremely durable and quite fuss-free. So what that means is it's not got loads and loads of bells and whistles. They've kept the cost down, so it's a nice affordable pack, but it still packs a good amount of features for what you need for a multi-day trek. So starting with the materials, we're met by a 420 denier upper face fabric, and then you'll see it along the bottom here and up the sides that we've got a 600 denier. It's marked by a slightly different shade when it comes to the colouring. So what they've done is put a really durable, hard-wearing 420 denier face fabric on here, so it can withstand all those scuffs and scrapes, and then the areas that are going to be in more contact with the ground, so when you put your bag on and off and put it on the ground, drag it to your tent, this lower portion of the bag is 600 denier, which is going to last a lot longer. It's a slightly more durable material, and that just gives the bag a really good finish. It's going to survive all those scuffs and scrapes that abuse, which is partly what makes this bag so good for things like 10 tours and DOV. If you're doing your 10 tours or your DOV as well, you know it could run for a long period of time, so it could be 3, could be 4 years. And this pack is definitely going to survive that length of time. So we're going to move on to the back system now, and we'll show you a little close-up of the back system for you in a minute and how you adjust it. This has got a really good back system. It's nice and flexible, it's nice and soft, so it sits very close to your back, which means all the weight is as close to you as it possibly can be. It's aerated to allow some airflow through the back system, and it's fully adjustable. So there's actually 2 different packs. We've got the SIRAC women's, and we've got the SIRAC men's. It's the women's in front of me here. In terms of the actual fit and the back system, so the women's one is going to be slightly shorter, so that back system isn't going to have as much adjustment, and it's slightly narrower. The men's is a slightly broader back system, and it has a slightly larger rate of adjustment. It starts a little bit higher as well, so it doesn't go down as short. In terms of these packs and sizing and things, if you're a woman and you've got quite broad shoulders, don't be afraid to go for a men's pack if you're quite tall as well. And if you're a bloke and you've got slightly narrower shoulders or you've got a slightly shorter back, don't be afraid to look at a women's pack either. Okay, so let's move on to the feature set for this pack. We'll start talking about pockets. We've actually got a good number of pockets here that really helped on the trip. We've got a really large top compartment pocket up here with a big zip on it, easy to open and access with gloves on and get what you needed. I tend to put my essentials up here, so things like waterproof trousers and coat, things I might need to get to quickly. Coming down the sides here, we're met by a stretchy pocket on either side, and this is a dual access pocket. So we've got top access and we've got side access here as well. And what's so great about that is it means that you can easily get your bottle while on the move. We've spoken about this in the past. It's a feature I really like, and it just makes getting hold of your bottle when you're walking a lot easier, and you don't have to call someone to come over and grab it out for you and put it back. We've also got 2 really good sized hip pockets, and they are quite substantial. Because this waistband is free floating, it means we can have a slightly bigger pocket on our hips, and this is easily big enough for your snacks for the day. You can keep your head torch in it, so it's nice and easy access. You could even fit sort of some gels and things as well in those pockets. A really nice sized pocket that's easy to access. Then as we move down the bag, we'll see here there's actually a second zip system. So at the top here we have a drawer cord system, which we'll show you a close-up of. And then down the bottom here we actually have a separate sleeping bag section, or where they'd intend for you to put your sleeping bag. So this is an optionally separate containment system. You can actually remove the separator and fold it flat, just have a big bucket bag. That's kind of how I prefer it. It gives you a bit more room to adjust it and fit things in smaller places. But it's completely optional, and that is accessed by 2 big zips at the bottom here. So if you have got that segregated, you can get your sleeping bag out nice and easy without having to remove everything else that's in the pack. While we're down here, we've also got 2 retention points. So these are just clip systems that are fully adjustable, and it's a good place if you're using a foam roll mat to put your roll mat across there. If not, it's a nice way to cinch the bag down and keep it nice and secure. While we're on the subject of cinching and sort of tightening up the pack, we've got 2 adjustment points on either side of this pack. They have sort of multiple purposes. One purpose is if you don't fill this bag and you want to make it a little bit smaller, bring it a little bit closer to your back and move that weight in, they obviously help draw the bag in. But if you're using hiking poles, walking poles, and you pop those down the side, it gives them a little bit of extra security and you don't have to worry about them falling out of your pack. Moving across the front, we've got like an elasticated system here. It's not a physical pocket as such, but it gives you a little bit of room to tuck some things in. On the trip, I tucked a pair of flip-flops in here for when we got to camp. Meant they were nice and easy to get to once we got to camp, and they also didn't take up room in my bag. If they were mucky or muddy, they also went on the outside of my bag rather than getting the inside dirty as well. And then as we move into the bag, like I said, it's very much a big bucket other than that separator, which can be removed. We do see access to a reservoir system, so we can actually put a drinking reservoir into this pack. The hose comes out of a small hole at the top and has a nice elasticated holding point on the shoulder strap, which means it's nice and easy to get to, but not going to get annoying and fiddly. And that is big enough to fit a 3-litre reservoir in it, so plenty of water. So that's kind of it for the pack itself. What we're looking at here is a really durable, easy to use pack that's going to last a long time. It has a load of features that are really useful, but it doesn't overdo it, and it keeps that price a little bit lower than some of its competitors. What we're going to do now is move on to my experiences with the pack and how I found it. Okay, so let's talk about my experiences with the pack. So like I said, I was lucky to get hold of one of these for the Kintail Way trip we did back in October. You may have seen the video. We'll put a little link to it just up there for you so you can check it out. Where we walked the Kintail Trail over 4 days. We were completely self-sufficient during that time. And not only did I carry my equipment for filming and photographing on the trip, but also carried everything we needed to be self-sufficient while we were on the trip. So I was carrying quite a lot of stuff, and I started by trying to fit everything into a 15-litre pack. And unfortunately, with that extra camera gear, with the batteries we were using and all that kind of stuff, it just wasn't going to fit. So we got hold of this Sirac here, and I have to say it's a massive bag. There is so much room to fit your stuff in there that I managed to get everything I needed for those 4 days, including all my food and stuff. I had a few things attached to the outside, tripod and tent, and then my camera gear sat at the top, and I had absolutely no issues in terms of space. However, it was quite heavy. One of the big things I like about this bag, not only is the main sort of compartment so vast, but it's actually the lid as well. It offers a really good size lid, and I could easily fit my waterproofs in there, and even my gloves, hat, and a few other things as well. It's a really nice size lid, and it gives you a lot of options when it comes to what you want to put up there. You can even fit your waterproofs in your first aid kit up there if you want a quick access to that. Or you could look at putting waterproofs and a spare layer on there if you had a fleece and stuff, then you can do that. Like I said, when I used the pack, I used it as a sort of all-in-one system. I removed that divider at the bottom. The reason I did that is just gives me a bit more freedom to tuck things around my sleeping bag. I find that those internal dividers can be a bit restrictive. You can only fit your sleeping bag in there. You don't have as much room to sort of tuck things around. So I removed that, but I did find this bottom zip really useful. You see this on a lot of packs, but I think it's a really overlooked feature. It means I could get my sleeping bag out without unpacking everything I was carrying, especially on that first night when this bag was full and it had all the food and stuff in it. It was much easier to go in from the bottom, grab what I needed and set my tent up than it would have been to pull everything out the top and then go back. So a really nice feature, and certainly one that's overlooked. Then we had things like the hip pockets and the bottle pockets. I've already spoken a little about the bottle pockets when it came up as a feature set. It's something I really like. We've seen it on a number of packs in the last few years. It means you can get to your water bottle nice and easily. It's far better than trying to get your arm into an awkward position and get that bottle out. And then moving down onto the hip belt as well. It's a really nice sized pocket. I was able to keep batteries and things as well as base plates for my camera in one side, and then I had some food and snacks on the other side, just so I had easy access to it and didn't have to rely on us stopping and getting my bag off and taking things out to get to my food. And then the next thing to talk about was fit and comfort as well, because I think they go hand in hand. I was actually surprised how comfortable this pack was. I think I overloaded the pack a little bit. I had a lot of stuff, and camera gear can get quite heavy, especially when we were carrying batteries to recharge the camera batteries off of, since we were going for such a long time. But the bag carried really well. The fact that this bag sits quite close to your back means the weight was quite close to my back over my centre of gravity, which made it a slightly more convenient and comfortable experience to wear. And those big hip belts meant that I could get them nice and tight across my hips, and that would take some of the weight, which transferred it off of my back and shoulders, which made it, again, a slightly more comfortable thing to carry. And then we look at fit. So as we mentioned, the back system itself is fully adjustable. And the best thing about that is means you can tailor this pack to fit you perfectly. a really nice, simple system that works really efficiently. Overall, I was really impressed with the pack. It carried a vast amount of stuff. It had all the features I felt I needed for a sort of a multi-day trek. And one of the things that was really surprising is actually the price. This sits at quite a low price compared to some other 65-litre packs, and I think you're getting a lot of value for money. Especially, this isn't sort of the lightest pack in the world, but what you're getting is a really durable pack, and I think that's where this sits really well. It's a great 10 tours pack, especially if you're buying for your child and you're not sure if they're going to continue through the years because it's a little bit cheaper than some of its competitors, but it's also very durable, which means it's going to last that long if you need it to. So that was a really quick look at the SIRAC 65. We've got them in stores and we've got them online. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.